This episode has been brought to you from the DGMS Studios, home of Don't Get Me Started, Lethal and Mully Live and Surftown. Found at Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music and wherever you listen to your podcast. Welcome to Keith and Lee's Don't Get Me Started. Hi, I'm Lee.
And I'm Keith.
So today we're doing something different. We're not in the studio. Life has been pretty full on for Keith and I for some reason, inexplicably come out of nowhere. And we thought to ourselves, we're always trying to get together to get round, and one thing or the other kept getting in the way. So we thought, let's do it while we're working. So we are in a beautiful unit in the Rise down in Noosa. And I'm looking out at the most wonderful view. No, not Keith. The view out the window. And I thought, what do you reckon, Keith?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it here. And it is a good view. And I can look out to the right and I can see the entire north shore of our town stretching way up into the distance. And there's no surf to speak of. A little bit of a pulse there, but not really anything to be excited about, which is a shame, really, because it's been like this for the last couple of weeks. Very little surf, very little waves to enjoy. Lee, it's good to see you, mate.
I was going to say the same to you, even though we spent a lot of time together. It's always good to see you, brother. You had Ross came up, apparently.
Yes, my brother came through, which was really good.
Ross's Corner.
Yes, we must have him on again because that episode where he was in the studio was hilarious. And he looks at life so differently, and he's such a dry sense of humour guy. He's good value to have in the studio and to have on a podcast. And I thought too, which was a little bit of a surprise, some of his insights into the situations of life that we were talking about was very insightful.
I feel very free not being tied to the desk and having earphones on and having the microphone just here. I can get up, walk around and don't have any problem with it. It's fantastic. We should do this more often.
Well, we should, but let me just explain a little bit to our listeners because they may not understand exactly what you're saying. What Lee is saying is that we're doing this through wireless microphones from Hollyland, and we put in a little dongle, press a couple of apps, and it records via Bluetooth into the phone, and then we take it into the studio later. Now, this Hollyland wireless little microphones that you attach to your lapel or the collar of your shirt are very good up to about 100 yards away, 100 metres away from your phone. So it's very powerful stuff. That's what Lee means by saying he feels liberated because we're not tied to our microphones or our desk in our studio. We're just here in this wonderful flat looking out over our beautiful town in our hinterland, and we can talk as we walk and sit down. And the only thing we don't have here is a cup of coffee, a cup of tea or a glass of wine or a beer.
Well, we don't have that in the studio anyway.
No, we don't, because we're not drinking that much these days, are we?
No. For the UK listeners, the microphones are so small. I've seen videos where they've got the big square one that's hanging off their T-shirt. This one, and I don't know whether you know what this is, Keith, the microphone itself is the size of a jelly tot. Do you know what a jelly tot is?
I do not.
Well, jelly tot in the UK is about the size of the microphone, and it's gelatine, and it's covered with sugar. They put them in a big tube, and we used to have them at Christmas. They were called jelly tots, and they were delicious. And it's the size of a jelly tot.
Well, Lee, you must realise, and I'm sure you've just overlooked this, but not on purpose, but inadvertently that you have, our listeners are international. We're listened to in over 40 countries. They wouldn't know what a jelly tot was either. Why don't you just say it's about the size of your fingernail? It's a little bit smaller.
Well, look them up. A jelly tot. They're delicious.
You're sounding like an expat who's longing for home. But, Lee, you are English, I am Australian, and we are sitting here and summer has started. Our football season is over, and now the great sporting event in Australia every summer is cricket. Now, not just wonderful, exciting cricket, very special cricket. Don't look so bland. You know where I'm going with this. The English cricket team is coming out to play a very special competition called the Ashes. And that, for those people who are not aware of it, the rivalry between England and Australia over the game of cricket on a national level goes back over 100 years. And one time there, the Australians beat the English unexpectedly, and the English were so pissed off they got a part of the wickets.
No, the bails.
The bails that sit on top of the wickets, and they burnt them. and they put them in a little urn, and to commemorate the fact that somehow or other these upstarts down from the colonies in the southern part of the world beat them. And I don't think the English have ever gotten over that.
Well, Keith, let me say this. We've got international listeners around the world in over 50 countries maybe, but they don't know anything about cricket. Let me tell you, we thrash the Aussies constantly, and it's going to be another great series, and it is going to be a whitewash. And you Aussies, mate, I tell you, you won't like it. Go the Poms.
No, I don't believe it. So for those of you that do not have cricket in your country or are unfamiliar with it, I would encourage you to look it up, do a little bit of research. It's a game that goes for 5 days.
If you're lucky.
When extended. It can finish before that. It can finish anywhere 2 days to 5 days, but it does have 5 days available for the full extension of time to be played if needed. It's a fascinating game. It's quite slow. A lot of people think it's boring, but it's got a lot of intricacies in it.
It can also be very painful.
Yeah, but yes, it can be all these things. It's full of drama.
When to take the new ball, when to do Sandgate. Oh, no, sorry.
That I do not know what you're talking about. But
let's forget about that.
Anyway, so
you're out there, Davey. Where's Davey now?
Davey Warner is retired. He's in India playing for the IPL, making millions of dollars.
Yeah, good on him.
Yeah. So anyway, that's our little rave about summer and cricket, which starts in about 2 weeks' time, I believe.
It does.
2 or 3
I think
weeks.
it's at Perth. We looked it up. It's at the Optus Stadium. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. Optus Stadium in Perth, which is one of the most advanced, sophisticated stadiums in the world, I'm told.
I didn't mind Perth. I quite like Perth.
Yeah, very isolated. I was over there recently and it was just like I remembered. I hadn't been back for years. Flew in over the Stirling Ranges and you look down and see this flat plain going out to the sea. And before you get there, flying in from the east, Australia, hours and hours of emptiness. And then all of a sudden you go over the top of the mountain ranges, which are low, not high mountains. And there it is. It's very isolated.
Yeah, but the stadium's right there. It's not far from the airport. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to. England has never done well in Perth. Such a fast wicket. But we'll see.
We will see. And
as long as it's competitive, I'll be happy.
well, as long as the Aussies win, I'll be happy.
We will see. Boxer Day Test, that's normally at Sydney.
No, Melbourne.
It's at Melbourne this year.
Always.
Always, is it?
Always at the mighty MCG, the Melbourne Cricket
there
Ground.
you go.
Which, again, for our international listeners, can contain or 100,000 people can sit and watch either Aussie rules football or cricket, depending. But that is one of the great stadiums of the world. It's quite old, of course, whereas the Perth one is very modern. That's why it's very sophisticated with all the electronic displays and lights, etc. But the Melbourne Cricket Ground has been around for many years, but it is phenomenal because of the size.
So Perth, Melbourne.
No, Melbourne would be...
No, not in that time frame. So the test will be at Melbourne, Perth, Melbourne, Adelaide and Sydney.
Brisbane.
Yes, so been to all of those except Adelaide. You been to the Adelaide Oval?
No, I haven't.
I haven't either. Maybe we should go down, Mully. Like you've been saying about a boys' weekend. There you go. Just fly down to Adelaide and watch 5 days of intense, thoroughly exciting cricket.
As the English get dusted and beaten again.
No, it'd be the downfall of the Aussies.
Well, so we can't rave on about Australian and English sporting.
Don't worry, mate. I'm going to cut out all your stuff. I'm just going to keep... I'm going to keep mine in.
We do have a topic.
We do.
Still can't get over this, and we mentioned this on our last podcast, where a friend of your wife said that we have to do our homework. And I said, well, no, that would ruin the fun. That would donate that we'd actually kind of knew what we were talking about.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm just going to make myself a little bit more comfortable, Mully. Oh, yeah.
Sitting on the couch. But
this is better.
We just love talking about life, don't we, Lee?
Yeah.
Simple as that. And, you know, we do a little bit of research. We don't always go in blind.
Well, I am today.
Are you?
Because I haven't done any research. You know how I love my research.
You're an astute guy. You will pick up the threads of what we're talking about and thoughts and insights will come to you and you'll share them.
Or if not, it's going to be a very, very short podcast.
Well, the topic that I thought we'd talk about is, do we place too much emphasis on the future and neglect the now?
Okay.
Do we think the future is more important than the now? And, you know, we base our life on those concepts, even the past, but we'll leave that for the minute.
So the title again is?
Do we place too much importance on the future and neglect the now?
Like, what's your thoughts on that? Because I've seen you got the book there, The Power of Now,
by Eckhart Tolle.
Eckhart Tolle.
Yeah, well, this book is considered more or less the word on embracing the now. It's a very popular book. It's been around for like 25 years or so. It's been well received by those people who like to think about self-improvement and down that avenue of thought. But it's also considered to be a book that's quite substantial in terms of content, what it has to say, because a lot of these self-help books are full of bloody hype and rubbish. This one's got some substance to it, and it's saying that now is very important if we can embrace it. Now not just being where we are, but what's happening in our life, what we're experiencing at the moment that we may or may not like, or that we may put ourselves into. For example, we might put ourselves into a job that we don't like because it's going to give us a lot of money so that in 5 years' time I can buy a great car or get a great holiday.
So that would be investing in the future.
Yeah, so there's two aspects to this that I understand. One is that we don't like the now because of where we are and who we are because of our life's experience that has brought us to that point, or that we will actually give away a lot of what the now can give us because we'll sacrifice that to get money and gain so that we'll have some goal fulfilled in the future.
Understand? My first thought when you said that was the future. So let me throw this one at you. Does the future exist?
Actually, my understanding is no.
So the now is the now. Do we put time in to invest in the future, or we spend too much time in the now and not invest in the future?
Yes, that's right. Well, yes, this is why we're talking about this, because...
So it sort of folds in itself, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, there's different aspects to this, isn't there?
The now, I love the now. People have a lot of trouble understanding eternity. Oh, we'll live for eternity. What you do in the now will echo in eternity. Famous line, Gladiator. The fact that eternity, what is eternity? So
hang on a minute, that quote was from a movie.
The Gladiator, yeah.
I thought you were getting biblical for a moment.
No, that's your gig.
Sometimes.
So eternity for me is the now, because we live in the now. So we live in eternity. I always say, and I've said on various podcasts, we were on the wake-up list this morning. And fortunately, we are. One day we won't. But that time frame between now and then will remain eternity, because you don't know when the Grim Reaper comes knocking at the door and says, "Are you there, Keith?"
No, I'm out having a surf.
If he does, let him find you alive, as I've always said. Do I put that into the future? No, I don't. Investment-wise, I wish I could do that. We were talking before about our generation and the opportunities we've had, and we live in a pretty good time frame where we've had a lot of stuff come and go. Stock markets, job opportunities, housing,
relationships.
Yeah, it's all there that you could have invested in more, but we didn't. I think the thing is, what we also spoke about today, and which you asked me this morning, which made me think, you said two things. How are you, mate? And are you happy? So are you happy about the now? Are you happy in the now? And I think that's what I ask myself every day. And I ask my beautiful wife, are you happy? And she goes, well, does happiness exist? So she questions that. And I love that. And I love when people question the now or the future. And as a young man, I longed for the future. I longed to have grown up quicker. I wanted to, and do the things like my children, I'm guessing, and maybe other children, they saw the wealth and opportunity we had as their parents, and they wanted it now. They felt like this is what I want. But again, like you and I had to do, and we spoke about it before, we had to put the hard yards in. We had to work at it. It wasn't given to us. It wasn't go, here, Keith, here's the next 15 years. Don't have to do anything, just live them. So the now, I love the now.
Yeah, well, see, there's a lot in what you say there, and that last little bit, you didn't arrive at the now, you had to put in the last 15 years. So the last 15 or 20 years, what you're putting in is with an eye to the future. Even though the future doesn't exist, we generally believe that at some point we're going to arrive there. And when we arrive at the future, we want to be found in a certain state, or with certain things, or with certain status, etc., etc. So we put in time now with a thought or a vision or a dream that somewhere in the future we will arrive in that state that we want.
But tomorrow never comes.
No, it doesn't. But the funny thing is, if you don't die, something comes, and next thing you know, you look in the mirror and you've got more wrinkles and you've got grey hair and you've got weight on your body, but you didn't have 20 years previously.
Because you wasn't invested in the future.
Yeah, well,
It's a very tricky question
it is tricky, isn't it?
because it opens up. This is why it'd be good if we had Ross. We should have rung Ross and got Ross involved and asked him, because he would come out with his point of view of, or his conception of what he thinks it is. I love that because it makes you think. And when somebody goes, "Oh, does the future exist?" You go, "Oh, I wonder if it does exist." Because I get questioned all the time, and I love that.
But if you don't expire, you do arrive in the future, or the future finds you in the now.
Oh, my head hurts now,
So
maybe.
do we sacrifice the now and investing too much in the future? And of course, not only that question denotes that the now has got something good to give us, that we can experience all that is around us for the moment. And not only that, but we have to accept where we are now, and we have to accept what is happening around us so that we are not wishing to get out of it thinking, oh, it's going to be better in 5 or 6, 10 years' time or whatever. It's kind of like making peace with where you are at in life right now at this point. Sometimes we don't like being in the now because of decisions that we made in the past.
Past, present, future.
Because in the past, we've made certain decisions that's taken us in a certain direction that has brought consequences about which has delivered us to this point that we're in right now. Irrespective of how we have arrived at the now, according to Mr. Toll and his book, The Power of the Now, and might I add, Buddhist thinking, irrespective of what the now is and our circumstances in it, we are to make peace with it and to accept it, good, bad, or indifferent. Now, of course, it can improve, but if we allow ourselves to think too much about how bad it is, if we don't like the now, we can drive ourselves crazy and lose inner peace. So that's what he's saying in the book.
Well, in that, are we just raging against the machine being us and our mind and our thoughts and our dreams and our desires? Because it is now, but let's wait a bit. Past tense now, because that was then. Now this is now.
Yeah, well, that's what he's saying. We should not rage against the machine being ourselves in your context. We shouldn't. We should embrace it, or at least make peace with it.
That gets me. Why is there a war raging so much that we have to make peace with ourselves or the machine or the now? It's like the information that's been given to you tells you how you're feeling. So like you said twice there, we have to make peace with it. Of course, that gets my back up because I'm thinking, I'm not at war with it. Now, whether I'm fooling myself or I'm being fooled, I don't know.
No, well, I don't think everybody is at war with that needs to make peace for themselves. Some people are quite content, but this is a thought or a way of approaching things for people who don't like the situation that they're in. They don't like the now that surrounds them. They might not even like themselves. And the concept of his book is that stop being negative about what is negative, make peace with it, find what you can that's good in it so that you can make the most of the now. If to simplify it, look for the silver lining in the dark clouds. See what you can take out of it rather than thinking, oh, woe is me, I wish I had this, I wish I had that. Or, oh, it's going to be better in 10 years' time if I work extra hard. So that extra hard might be a waste because that extra hard that you're working could be another 3 hours a day, which you could be investing in something else right then.
Well, it's interesting. I've just picked up your book and I'm looking at the chapters. And chapter 1 says, you are not your mind. Chapter 2, consciousness, the way out of pain, moving deeply into the now. And there's one here I'm looking at, which is chapter 9, beyond happiness and unhappiness, there is peace. That would be an interesting one to read. Beyond happiness and unhappiness, there's peace.
We all want to be happy and we all want to have good lives. But I've said many times, happiness can be overrated in the sense that if we make that the ultimate goal, we're missing out on a lot of other things like contentment, satisfaction, peace can be. I know a couple of guys that are very well off financially and they're restless. They're always moving. It's like they can't be still because they have to confront themselves. They have to live quietly with themselves and they can't do it.
I think the future, if I can define the future, when I hear stories like that, and everybody has, and they said, oh, even when you got a lot of money, you're unhappy. And I said, well, give me the money. And let's see if I do become unhappy. So that is a future for me. Like I'm saying, give me the finances. We used to play golf every Friday, 4 of us. every bloody Friday, one of them would say, "Gonna win the lotto this weekend." And
See, that's it. That's denying the now, isn't it?
it freaks me out.
He's thinking if he comes into a lot of money suddenly, his future's going to be a lot better.
It's going to be brighter.
Yeah.
And I said to him, mate, you got more chance of being taken by a great white on the Sea of Tranquility than you are going to win the lotto. He goes, "There's not a sea tranquility, it's on the moon,
Yeah,
mate."
I was going to say that's on the moon.
And that's the chances that you got. And the famous one, "Well, you've got to be in it to win it." And it's true, because if you don't buy a ticket, you're not going to win it. But I just can't take that concept of this is what you have to do to find happiness. I don't think, and we've spoken about this before, with people that do have this immediate wealth thrust upon them, it breaks down the person as an individual and their state of mind. Because then you said to me a long time ago, Keith, money buys you two things, time and space. So you've got as much time to do anything you want, and you can buy as much space as you like.
Yeah, it can make life convenient. Well, my experience is my finances over the years have been up and down.
You and me both.
The joy of having an injection of finances is pretty cool. I can do this, I can do that. Overall, my state of being hasn't altered. I've had some really good times financially, some really bad times. And of course, there's emotional things that go with that. But overall, it hasn't impacted or changed my life very much at all.
I think finances, if they're handled correctly, whether it's a large sum or a small amount, it makes you happy that you're in control of it instead of it being in control of you.
I think if you work too hard right now to get more money to achieve, if you work too hard now to get more money so that you can accumulate more things in the future, then you're very definitely sacrificing the now. You've got a very narrow, horrible view of the now because you think that has to be some sort of foundation that you just give yourself to with work, or achieve, so that in the future you can be this, you can have that, and you can do that. Now, it's easy to say that because we do live a life where we do arrive in the future. All of a sudden we're 60, 65, 70 or whatever. And also we should have some goals, I think, about not so much accumulating, but working towards having a good quality of life for ourselves and our loved ones. And sometimes you can only achieve that by putting in a certain amount of time and effort in the now.
Okay, let me ask you this now. What one would you pick? A dream, a passion, or a desire?
Where the hell did you get that from?
Because of the now. So what we're talking about...
Did you just think of that?
Yeah. So what we're just talking about, the finances, and if we get finances, we've got to have goals, you were saying. So I thought, yeah, we do. But what happens to your dreams? What happens to your desires? What happens to your passions? Pick one.
Jeez.
What would you want?
You've put me on the spot here. Jeez,
I know mine. I know mine straight off.
No, bloody hell.
You can only pick one.
Passion, dreams, or desire?
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's a toss-up between passion and dreams. I'd have to go for, I'm going to go for passion because my dreams are wrapped up in it.
Yeah, same as me. You've got to have that passion.
Yeah.
So you've got to have that passion in the now. And that passion will take you to places, to people, to circumstances. Your dreams probably won't, or your goals might, but not fulfill. But if you have or fulfill that, but your passion will. It will sustain you.
Lee, that's very insightful.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I do. I'm impressed. You didn't do your homework.
No, I did do homework. It's just the goal bit. But we have spoken before, like we do regularly. And I said, maybe we should do a podcast on dreams and passion or desires. Mm-hmm. Not goals, dreams, passion or desires. Where do they go to die? Because a lot of people do. Mm-hmm. They have them and then they dissipate.
Every time I think about this topic that we're discussing now, do we put too much emphasis on the future and sacrifice a lot of the now? I always come up with one word. Right. The word is balance.
But you said you don't like that word.
I don't like that word. All my life, I've actually used to hate it. But sometimes if you go too extreme, you create problems that you have to live in right now. We have to embrace. See, I even hate saying we have to.
I know. I get it.
Can I rephrase, and please leave this in, I don't mind, but can I rephrase and say we are wise to use the now as best we can so we can get the most out of it right now, but also with the view that what we're doing now is going to leave us in a good place in the future should we arrive there. So that's the balance I'm talking about. Because you can live so much in the now that you are creating nothing for yourself but a lot of problems should that 5 years ahead of you arrive.
The famous Aussie saying, mate, she'll be right.
She
Don't
will be
worry about
right.
that, mate. She'll be all right. And I love that too. But you can't be foolish with it. You can't be nonchalant. You have to, like you're saying, you have to be on point with that.
Yeah, you do have to be on point. I like that. See, one of the reasons why I dislike the word balance in terms of human behavior is in the past is because it more or less says, well, you have to be sensible and you have to choose the middle safe road. And I don't like the middle safe road.
No, me neither.
My life has been marked by going off to the left and right.
Yeah.
And some of those detours have worked out, some have not, but I don't regret them. Made me quite rich in terms of my life's experience.
It's a big life. It really is something that you have to embrace and welcome and accept. And the now, I love the now because I always say when I wake up in the morning, it's a brand new day. It hasn't been lived before. There's no history that has gone the past. It's the now. I look at it as a clean piece of paper to write on what is going to happen to the now until that time where the night comes and it goes into the past. The future, does it ever come? I said that in the very beginning. For me, it's the now and the past. The future, who knows?
Well, I like what you're saying because you're more or less saying, hello, we've woken up. What's your favourite saying? We're on the wake up list.
Well, yeah, we're on the wake up list. And the other one was, which was very funny, a dude a long time ago, and he goes, oh, yeah, good, mate, I woke up on the right side of the dirt.
There you go. Yeah, so that means that because we have woken up in that state, what's ahead of us for the day is brand new. And, what's going to happen? Who am I going to meet? Is something wonderful going to happen? Am I going to see good things? Am I going to experience whatever? And that's a wonderful way to approach the now, isn't it? Otherwise, we wake up and we think, oh, heck, another day at work. Oh, another day with...
Well, we do that.
And they made that movie in America, Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
If you get yourself into that type of mentality, then you're missing out on the fact that you are on the wake-up list. Hang on, there may be something that'll happen today that I haven't seen. But you have to look, I believe, for joy in the little things too, don't you? As much as the big things that winning the lotto. Okay, great. Who doesn't want to come into a lot of money? But let's be realistic. What's coming at you in the now? What's the little things that you can notice? You know, what's that little tiny thing that somebody said to you? Or what was that? Maybe you're in a situation where somebody's giving you something and they say, just play it forward. Wow.
I love that.
So I like what you're saying about being positive and open for the now.
Yeah, you have to and embrace it. A lot of people can't and a lot of people won't. And they have their thoughts, how they want to address their day. People like us, we would probably annoy the crap out of them. But we live in a beautiful place. We breathe an air where it's incredibly clean and fresh. We drink clean water. Oh, mind you, a lot of people, the fluoride in the water. But we have the view and we have people that come up to us with a smile on their face and say, "G'day, fellas, how are you?" And they generally mean that.
Yeah.
They do. And they're embracing that now. And so when I start the day, I always think of who I'm going to meet, the circumstances I'm going to get myself into, and what the outcome's going to be. And at the moment, I was looking forward to this since I woke up this morning. Something new. We've never done this before. It's exciting because I haven't done any research like I normally do because I love to learn about this. I've learned what's been brought forward to this conversation. I don't want it to be the past. Get in there.
Just in closing, Eckhart Tolle in his book talks about how we can torment ourselves with desires and visions and wants of the future, and that we might want to have more money or more status. We think that we are a certain person who's worthy of that status or station in life. And so he says, don't be driven by your ego in the now. That's going to put you in a situation where you think that you have to do certain things right now so you can come to that desired place in the future. Now, there's nothing wrong with having goals. I like having goals. And in our materialistic consumer society, you've got to have some goals to some point, otherwise you'll be just swamped. So you have to be able to manage all of your material and financial affairs and your time affairs. But don't build your future projection on yourself according to your ego and what you think you should have or achieve or be. And that's why he's saying, just chill out, man. Just embrace the now. Who you are, accept your circumstances. Yes, you can work towards getting better or improving whatever, but even when you're doing that, you're in the now. So enjoy it.
Don't forget, breathe in, breathe out.
There you go.
And Molly, we've come to our 92nd episode. And for the 92nd time, I'll leave you the last word.
Well, look, it's a great pleasure for me to be here today talking to you about this topic. I hope you and our listeners have enjoyed it. And as always, I say thanks for tuning in, wonderful people. We love you all. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we'll talk to you soon. Hooroo.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Don't Get Me Started with Keith and Lee. Don't forget to rate and review this podcast. To see more of Don't Get Me Started, jump onto our socials, follow us on Instagram at Lethal and Mully, Facebook and LinkedIn. If you would like to be a part of the show, email us on don'tgetmestarted2024@gmail.com. Until next time.